Hey, welcome World Entertainment, and we have a massive update regarding the future of Star Trek. We just did a video the other day that said the sets for Starfleet Academy are officially being taken down, that they have begun the process of dismantling that whole set. The question still remained, well, what about the Strange New Worlds set? Because, of course, we have Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers, I believe is his name, out there pushing for Star Trek Year 1, which would have been Kirk's first mission out there and blah blah blah. And of course, one of the pitches they kept making was, hey, we still got the sets, so it's not going to cost much to build new ones and stuff like that. Well, here is the massive update, and it truly shows that Kurtzman is officially finished at Paramount as his secret hideout, because on the heels of us being told the Starfleet Academy sets are being torn down, it's official, the Strange New World sets have officially started to be taken down. That's right, that says, Kurtzman, you are fucking done. Toodaloo, asshole. Thank God it's finally over. The fact that these sets were sitting there and they were pushing the idea of, well, we got the sets, so we're guaranteed more shows. Thank God Paramount had the common sense to go, you want to bet? You want to bet on that? And remember, this all comes after Kurtzman and even Akiva Goldsman and all went in, sat down with David Ellison and pitched the future of Star Trek on TV under their reign and Year 1 and all this crap. And what happened? Kurtzman walked out with no new show, no new movie, and in fact he walked out with his only show, Starfleet Academy, being cancelled. And now it's clear that Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers have walked out after pitching Year 1 to have that whole idea up in smoke as they're pulling down the sets. So let's have a look at the article talking about this. So it says, oh, by the way, these are these articles who kind of try and push that they loved all of this shit. I guarantee you they watched the first episodes of these shows and never watched a second more of it. But it says, it's a sad time for Star Trek fans as the end of the current franchise on Paramount Plus is official. Just a few years ago, Star Trek had 5 active TV series, with Star Trek Starfleet Academy joining the lineup in January 2026. Today, every single Star Trek series has been cancelled, and now it is truly the end of the last 2 remaining shows, Starfleet Academy and Strange New Worlds. Star Trek Strange New Worlds filmed its 5th and final season in the fall of 2025, wrapping just before Christmas. Star Trek Starfleet Academy was cancelled by Paramount Plus less than 2 weeks after Season 1's final premiered. However, Star Trek Starfleet Academy wrapped filming its 2nd and final season at the end of February. Trek Central reported that the sets of Star Trek Starfleet Academy are now being torn down. Star Trek Starfleet Academy was filmed at the Star Trek stage at Pinewood Studios, Toronto. There will be a local online auction for parts of the set on Friday, for reasons best known to themselves. Additionally, Star Trek Strange New Worlds sets are also being taken down. Strange New Worlds was filmed at CBS Stages Canada in Mississauga. Is that how you pronounce it? I probably butchered that. So Star Trek Starfleet Academy boasted the largest sets ever built for Star Trek. The demolition of Starfleet Academy's stunning sets includes the loss of the multi-leveled atrium, which had the Starfleet Wall of Heroes, the USS Athena's bridge, and the classrooms. I just want to say, the stunning sets. It looked like a fucking shopping mall. It didn't look like a ship at all. It was one of the worst looking things ever. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds sets were also gorgeous. No, they weren't. And the destruction of those sets include the loss of the USS Enterprise bridge, Captain Pike's ready room, the science lab, and Captain Pike's quarters, with his plush kitchen and fireplace. Why? I still can't wrap my head around why there is fireplaces on these ships all of a sudden. Why is there a fireplace in Pike's quarters? Why was there a fireplace in Ake's quarters? And it was so bizarre. Plus, Pike's quarters on the Enterprise. Remember, this is meant to be the Enterprise from the original series, and yet his quarters were bigger than quarters on the Enterprise D. His quarters was like the size of the bridge of the Enterprise D. So it says, during the 53rd Annual Saturn Awards in March, Star Trek Strange New Worlds executive producer and co-showrunner Henry Alonso Myers said that Star Trek Strange New Worlds sets were in storage, giving hope that the spin-off about Captain James T. Kirk, Star Trek Year 1, could happen. Those hopes are now dashed with the Enterprise sets being torn down. And in storage doesn't mean they were taken down and just left to the side, ready to be put back up. It means they were sitting there being unused. That's what they were talking about. So meanwhile, an online petition to save Starfleet Academy has topped 42,000 signatures. Unfortunately, the USS Athena sets being torn down means that there's no chance Paramount Plus could reverse course and greenlight Starfleet Academy Season 3. What I love about that, 42,000 signatures, that's literally 2 extra people compared to the amount of views an episode was receiving. The episodes were receiving 40,000 views each episode. You've managed to gain 2 people, and that's probably Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau, because otherwise, like, why would they keep it going? Nobody was watching this. But the fact that the Strange New World sets are officially being torn down as well, good riddance. Absolutely good riddance. Why these sets, by the way, were so unnormally big was ridiculous. Seriously, like, you look at all the structure of the starships in all the other shows, even the S9, how everything was so close knit, because that's how a real ship would function. You need to be able to give commands and people to hear you. And you look at especially the Athena's bridge. I'm surprised they weren't using communicators to give orders to the person across from them. They were so far away. It was like, why is it so big? It makes no sense. So much dead space in these ships. It's ridiculous. It would never be that way. But the biggest takeaway from all of the sets, especially Strange New World sets being taken down, is that is indication that we are officially seeing Kurtzman being kicked to the curb. That Paramount have finally pulled the trigger and said, we are not renewing your contract. We are not renewing Secret Hideout's contract. You guys are done. Get out. Turn the lights off on your way out. Because the fact that the Strange New World set was still there was giving them hope that they were going to get Year 1. Which they're saying, oh, this is Kirk's missions after Pike. Something's never been seen before. It's like, it has. It was called Star Trek. You clowns. And imagine the damage they would have done, even more so to the brand, had they gotten their hands on Kirk and all of these guys, their first missions out there. They've already fucked it up anyway. Not just by having Kirk meet Pike all the time, but they were going to have her on the bridge. Sulu was being introduced. McCoy was being introduced. When Kirk first took command, Uhura, Sulu, and McCoy weren't on the Enterprise. They didn't come in until later. So, it's officially the end of Kurtzman Trek. Thank God. 10 years too late, but thank Christ it's officially ending. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.